Item. Question number 1 is that let us pray. Dear God, we thank you for each day that you protect us today. We are here at the halls of this room for our debate. May you be exalted today, O Lord. And Lord, bless us and abide us by Holy Spirit. Help us also to be a blessing to others, as well as to our teachers. May this debate also, Lord, be successful. In Jesus' name we pray, Amen.
Okay, good morning everyone.
Good morning, Maam.
Okay, ulitin natin. Good morning everyone.
Good morning, Maam Capilitan. Good morning, teachers. It's nice to see you this morning.
Okay, can we have your seat? Okay, no? So this morning, we will have another new lesson. Our lesson for today is other functional carbon compound group, and one form of it is nicotine and tar. Now, where can we get nicotine? No? Saan kaya natin nakukuha yung nicotine? Okay. So, where can you get nicotine? Okay. From cigarette? Why? Cigarette? What are you going to do with cigarette? Cigarette alone? What procedure are you going to do in order to obtain nicotine from cigarette? Okay, definitely you will be smoking, no? Mag-smoke ka. So, we obtain nicotine from smoking cigarette. And we already know that smoking of cigarette, okay, has adverse effect on our body. Okay. Don't you understand?
Yes,
Okay. So, to add color to this lesson, no, we will have a very exciting activity. No? We will have a very exciting activity, which is, okay, what activity are we going to do this morning? Debate. What's the purpose of debate? Now, we are going to seek and produce, no? Opinions, ideas, and the product of your researches. So, our debate is resolve the total banning of cigarette smoking in public places. To facilitate our debate, may I call on our narrator, as a soft-spoken lady. Okay, is no other than Rachel Finla. So she will be our narrator for this activity.
It is better to debate the questions without settling it than to settle the questions without debating it. To our secondary school principal too, Sir Edwin A. Dudula, sir. To our panel of judges. To our gorgeous and extraordinary advisor, Mrs. Pinky C. Capilitan, ma'am. To my dynamic classmates, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to grade 9 special science class, a debate of students, which is resolve the total banning of cigarette smoking in public places. Are we all ready now?
Yes.
Okay, I believe that everybody is all set and very excited to listen and witness the accurate debate. Before we start, I will introduce first our board of judges. Our first judge, a very intelligent math teacher, and she is Maam Friales. Round of applause, please. Our second judge, she is a gorgeous and intelligent research teacher, no other than Maam Emily Lintiha. The third judge, department head, and no other than Miss Nerissa Sunido. And of course, the chairman of the board. She is a Mr. Discipline Man, and she is the secondary school principal too. And he is the secondary school principal too, Sir Edwin A. Dudlao. And would like to recognize Ma'am Natalia Bacharo and Ma'am Jodia Harding for their presence. I guess everything are all set to listen the speeches of our debaters. But first, let us hear the criteria for judging on this debate. We will call on Miss Emily Lindihan.
Okay, so my respect to our school principal, Sir Edwin A. Dudlao, to the teachers in attendance, to our debaters, to the facilitator of this morning's event, Ma'am Capilitan, and to our audience this morning. Magandang buhay po sa ating lahat. So may I read to you the criteria for this morning's activity. So first, we have organization and clarity. So main arguments and responses are outlined in a clear and orderly way. Second, we have use of argument. Reasons are given against the resolution. Third, use of cross-examination and rebuttal. Identification of weakness in affirmative or negative team's arguments and ability to defend itself against attack. And lastly, we have presentation style. The tone of voice, clarity of expression, precision of arguments, all contribute to keeping audience attention and persuading them of the team's case. So these are our criteria for this morning's debate. So to our negative and affirmative team, good luck and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Each debater will be given 2 to 4 minutes to deliver their speeches. And may I remind everyone that out of the 12 speakers, our board of judges will choose who will be the best speaker and the best debater. At this moment, may I introduce to you our debaters. First, we have the proposition team. Let's start with the speaker number 1, Jubel Esteban. Speaker number 2, Pedro Miguel. Speaker number 3, Paul Joseph Lachon. Speaker number 4, Princess Amor Pinoy. Speaker number 5, Lani Cartenosa. And speaker number 6, Vivian Grace Linda. Again, they are the opposition team. We have speaker number 1, Jules Philip O'Hari. Speaker number 2, Christy Joy Barbaruno. Speaker number 3, Vinette Agumno. Speaker number 4, Catherine Fiona Ira Nahera. Speaker number 5, April Shane Garnett Bantigani. And speaker number 6, Dimar Galila Sito. Again, they are the opposition team. A big clap. And of course, we have Romelo Joy Leite, serve as the timekeeper, and Rika Elamay and Eliza Nasa Bugarso for our documentation. And now, let's start the debate and proposition team and to be followed by the opposition team. Let the battle begin.
Good morning, everyone, especially to our Honorable Secondary School Principal, to Sir Edwin A. Dudlao, to the beautiful panel of judges, to the teachers, students, and friends. Good morning. I came from the opposition team and I agree with the idea of total banning of cigarette smoking in public places. The major problem our country encounters is smoking. There is now general agreement that in order to substantially reduce smoking rates, governments need to adopt a comprehensive approach to tobacco control. This should include a range of measures, notably a total ban on tobacco advertising and promotion, restrictions on smoking in public places and in the workplace, sustained increases in tobacco taxation, combined with measures to curb smuggling. Large, bold health warnings on tobacco products, smoking cessation, and health education campaigns, and the regulation of tobacco to standards agreed by the health community rather than those set by the tobacco industry. While legislation is to be favored over voluntary controls, the key to the successful implementation of these measures is winning public support and ensuring proper enforcement, given the enormous burden that smoking places on health services. Governments in developed nations have generally responded by introducing a range of tobacco control measures. However, the picture is far from uniform, and some of the best examples of strong government-led action have occurred in less developed nations. Governments can learn much from these countries, and by supporting the impending global treaty on tobacco control can help to reduce the smoking-related diseases and deaths of the future. So we will continue to run smoke-free campaigns to encourage people to change their behavior. We aim to make people aware of the health from taking up smoking, encouraging smokers to try and quit and to do so in most effective ways. And we encourage people to stop smoking in their homes and family cars, emphasizing how it affects the children. Quit smoking for the people in your life. Smoking is a threat to us. By quitting smoking, you are protecting those you love. Smoking not only harms your health, but it hurts the health of those around you. Exposure to secondhand smoke increases the risk of lung cancer and heart disease in healthy non-smoker. Don't you ever know that cigarettes can smoke the people around you? In smoking, you are just like downloading a cancer. The second-hand smoke is the first hand to death. Smoking causes premature aging. Smoking isn't just suicide, it's a murder. Health is wealth. We need to think because it's the only way we can save our nation by having smoke-free country. Let's get rid of tobacco. We can build a world with zero deaths from tobacco. A world where tobacco is no longer sold for profit. That's all. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Jules Philip O'Harry from the opposition team. Cigarette smoking is one of the most and biggest problems in our country. Yes, it is a problem. It can cause different diseases to our body. But why is it invented if it do not have any health value? Why is it invented to be banned in all public places here in our country? Yes, it is a real problem. The smoke bothers every non-smoker. But a complete ban is not necessary. I mean, those public places can save up some money so they can build special areas for non-smokers and those areas would be vetted. This way would take both parts. The part of population that smokes and loves smoking while at a restaurant and part of population that doesn't smoke and can stand the smoke. So if somebody wants to smoke, let him do, as long as it doesn't socially harm anyone. And by using special areas for smokers, everyone would be happy and the restaurant would make profit. The Philippine Executive Order 26, this executive order invoked the Clean Air Act of 1999 and the Tobacco Regulation Act of 2003 to impose a nationwide ban on smoking in all public places in the Philippines. Even though cigarettes are bad, they are classified as a harmful weapon that can cause serious injury or damage. Also, right now, we are both breathing in campfire, barbecues, and even marijuana smoke. I do not see a ban on those items, and I do not see a ban on cars. Also, tobacco is a legal drug, and so is marijuana. So you cannot just ban it. Also, I looked up that the smoke from smokers produce 0.00092% of carbon dioxide emissions in the world. Secondhand smoking is a concern. I agree. But a complete ban of smoking in public places is unnecessary. In fact, I believe that with a ban, more people will choose to smoke as it will be more of a rebellious and illegal act like drugs in today's society. Look, everyone should not be so bothered about smoking and live with it. All smokers go outside to have a smoke, at least in countries where it is banned indoors. Non-smokers stay in the pub or wherever you are. Non-smokers complain about everyone's health, but smokers are not stupid. They know it can harm them. There are areas where smokers can smoke, so they don't have to ban it. Some people that smoke should know that if you see other people standing around, then they must have respect and go and smoke somewhere else. That's all. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Janie Rose Miguel from the Pro Position team. Well, I am totally agree for the total banning of cigarette smoking in public places because it will lessen the chance of influencing others to take on the habit. According to the Global Youth Tobacco Survey, or GYTS, more than 1 in 4 Filipino children aged 13 to 15 are smokers. Among those in this age group, 17.5% are girls and 28.3% are boys. There are claims that cigarette smoking is also considered a status symbol and some teenagers can be influenced to smoke just to fit it. A few years ago, anti-tobacco advocates were pushing for the ban of smoking cigarettes scenes in movie, television in the Philippines. This is to avoid the young ones to imitate what they see on TV or in movies, since show business in the country is a very influential industry. Since 2007, advertisements of cigarettes in newspapers, magazines, and the like and sponsorship by tobacco companies have been banned as stipulated in Republic Act 9211 or the Tobacco Regulation Act of 2003. According to the study done by the National Youth Commission or NYC, 2 out of 5 Filipino teenagers aged 13 to 15 years old smoke cigarettes. Furthermore, in a study conducted by an anti-tobacco group, in the year 2011, 10 Filipinos died every hour because of tobacco-related disease. We all know that smoking cannot cause any good to our health. Yes, it's true. It just helps us to relieve our stress, to relax. But at last, you will suffer in many kinds of diseases because of use of cigarettes. That is why we are agree for the total ban of cigarette smoking in public places because it can help us lessen the number of smokers in our country, especially those teenagers. Well, although people say that smoking is the smoker's choice, well, it's not. Whether we didn't want to smoke, if the people around us are smoking, we didn't have a choice. By way of smoking in public places, all the people that go to those places have got to inhale the smoke. But if it was totally banned, smokers would smoke in their homes or cars and harm themselves and not others. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Christine Troy Barberona from Opposition 2. Smoking is up to the individual, not others. If people don't like smoke, avoid the people who are smoking. I would not say that smoking should be banned, but I do not think it is necessary that people should go as far to have to avoid another person purely for them being a smoker. The smoking ban removes freedom of choice. Not only are smokers denied the freedom to choose a place where we can enjoy a legal habit, but everyone is denied the freedom to work out their own compromises and solutions, so that both smokers and non-smokers get what they want. The smoking ban is bad for business, despite ever more contrived efforts to prove otherwise. Pubs and clubs are dying in part because of the business loss as smokers find somewhere else to drink where they can smoke in peace. The ban may not be the only factor in the decline of pubs and clubs, but only the most lingered smoke hater would deny that it is a significant one. There are areas where smokers can smoke, so they don't have to ban it. Some people that smoke should that if you see the other people standing around, then they must have respect and go and smoke somewhere else. Non-smokers should also have a brain and think that if you see someone smoking, then walk away or ask them if they can stand and smoke somewhere else. The smoking ban disregards property rights. The air in a pub belongs neither to smokers nor non-smokers, and certainly not to politicians, but to the publican. It is the publican who should decide the smoking policy on his or her own premises. We all know that non-smokers are more populous than smokers, but it doesn't mean that smoking should be banned just to please them. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Carl Joseph Nachon from Proposition C. As a student, I agree for stopping cigarette smoking in public places because not only the smokers can get a disease in cigarettes, also a non-smoker can get a disease in cigarettes because of the second-hand and third-hand smoke. Second-hand smoke is either exhaled by a smoker or released from the end of a burning cigarette, while third-hand smoke is the smoke residue and gases that are left after a cigarette has been smoked. Cigarette smoking are the most common sources of second-hand and third-hand smoke. It is noted that second-hand and third-hand smoke can cause disease and death to both smokers and non-smokers. According to medicinenet.com, at least 250 harmful chemicals have been identified in second-hand smoke, including at least 50 carcinogens, chemicals that are known to cause cancer. Some of these dangerous chemicals include vinyl chloride, cadmium, benzene, arsenic, and ethylene oxide. Research has shown that non-smokers who reside with a smoker have an increased risk of developing lung cancer, cardiovascular disease, and heart attack. If we can stop smoking in the right time, many non-smokers can get sick, like what I said earlier, or else they will die. Coughing, chest congestion, and decreased lung function can also occur in those exposed to passive smoke. Babies exposed to second-hand smoke can also develop serious respiratory infections. Passive smoking is believed to cause lung infections such as pneumonia and bronchitis in children younger than 18 months of age each year. The World Health Organization, or WHO, has estimated that tobacco consumption kills 10 Filipinos every hour due to cancer, stroke, lung, and heart disease brought by cigarette smoking. So, after this debate, 10 Filipinos will die because of that cigarette smoking. So please, stop selling cigarettes and also stop buying cigarettes if you want to live long in this world. Because that cigarette has no help in our life. It's a thing that can make our life shorter. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Geno Giacomino from the opposition team. Total banning of cigarette smoking No way. Because smokers have rights too, and they should be able to smoke in all public places. A public place is a place where the public, which includes people who smoke, can be allowed to stay. Therefore, it would be illogical to not allow smokers to be able to smoke in all public places. There are numerous reasons which support this issue, such as that smoking is legal, the consequences to smokers which may occur, and not all smokers are the same. Smoking a cigarette is not illegal. It, like many other things, legal. The government has been known to rely on the revenue received from smokers. The high taxation placed on cigarettes has been placed as a way to discourage smokers, but also act as a high form of revenue for the government. Although public smoking is frowned upon by many, there are many reasons that support public smoking. Smokers aid in contributing to the economy, thus supporting many companies and jobs. People who smoke also possess the right to smoke in public. Public smoking is a controversial issue, so one of the world's most controversial subjects today is whether or not there should be a ban on the production, sale, and use of cigarettes. At the present time, cigarette smoking is a popular habit for roughly 1.1 billion people worldwide. This is one-sixth the population of the entire planet. This estimate is constantly increasing by 2025. And if the cigarette will be banned, the factories will reduce production and sales. Yes, it is better, because they are the ones who start this big problem or big issue that we encounter now. Because they say in their commercial that smoking is a good way to relieve stress and induce relaxation. While all these appear to be good arguments, they leave out one thing, the facts. Most of these statements are spread by makers of cigarettes. Of course, the makers aren't going to tell you the facts. That cigarettes cannot relieve stress. Why? Simply because it has some compounds that can cause harm in our health, like lung cancer, pneumonia, emphysema, throat cancer, and etc. So why don't we stop the production, other than banning people to cigarette in all public places, because they are the ones who start the problem. Yes, I disagree in cigarette banning in all public places, because it is not the smoker's fault. It is by the factory and makers of cigarettes. Our legislators, the House of Representatives, can pass a bill for banning the production of cigarette, or the Excellency of our President, Rodrigo Roa Duterte, can use his executive power to do the same. In addition, we believe a ban will possibly drive many bars and pubs out of business, as smokers will not go there anymore. They also argue it is a matter of freedom choice. Smoking is not against the law, so individuals should have the freedom to smoke where they wish. So that's all. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Princess Amorteroy from Proposition 2. I agree with the idea of the total banning of cigarette smoking in public places. Why? It will help us to reduce our waste. Cigarette butts are technically considered biodegradable. However, because of the small amount of plastic they contain, their breakdown still takes at least 18 months, and even then, the plastic particles remain in the environment. Cigarette butts are toxic. The toxics that they contain can leach into the soil and sometimes even make it into the water supply. According to Eco Waste Coalition, cigarette butt waste is the most visible toxic garbage that we can find in our surroundings. Cigarette butts are the most commonly discarded piece of waste worldwide. It is estimated that 1.69 billion pounds of butts wind up as toxic trash each year, creating an enormous environmental health and economic burden. A study from Centers of Disease Control and Prevention shows that small children who had ingested cigarette butts concluded that one-third of them exhibited symptoms of illness, such as spontaneous vomiting, gagging, and flushing. Cigarette butts
leach toxins into the water, and kill or injure various forms of wildlife. This can poison the water supply and kill wildlife. One example of these chemicals is aldehyde. This chemical is highly toxic to humans and animals. Toxicity studies suggest that compounds leached from cigarette butts in salt and fresh water are toxic to aquatic microorganisms and test fish. In addition, the plastic parts of cigarette butts can be ingested by fish, birds, whales, and other marine animals. According to the Surfrider Foundation, cigarette butts are the most frequent item collected during the group's beach cleanups. Here are the numbers of the debris items they collected. Cigarette butts and cigarette filters. They collected the amount of 2,117,931. The second one is the food wrappers, containers, and plastics. They gathered about 1,140,222. As what we can see, cigarette butts are more than the amount of food wrappers and plastics. So, we should stop smoking and start reducing. That's all.
Good morning, everyone, especially to our Board of Judges. I am Desiree Luna Ira Dinasa Nahera, came from opposition team, where we are against the total banning of cigarette smoking in public places. Smoking is a choice. Beyond the person, you cannot tell who is a smoker from just looking at them, unless you are greatly by smoking. It seems clear to me that most people have their opinions against smoking. Nevertheless, smoking still has some positive aspects to economic sides. For example, many countries around the world, here in the Philippines, right? Like Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, consider cigarette as an important product to export to many countries to get money or exchange other commodities. Therefore, they can use the money to invest in some different kinds of fields. In our country, selling cigarettes is also an easy job that everyone can do to earn more money. No matter how old they are, as a result, these can bring some jobs for people and partially solve rate of unemployment. Also, businesses are not losing a little bit of money. There are bars that has been for years all around that are being completely shut down. All because people will not go there because they cannot smoke. If by public places you mean any places where people are obligated to go, I can see banning it for the comfort room of all concerned. Such places would include any publicity funded building, example, libraries, post office, government offices, and etc. But in privately owned businesses where people choose to go, like restaurants, bars, cinemas, malls, and etc. I think that smoking should not be banned in public places, but the businesses or companies should be able to control whether or not should be allowed. Should a business that caters to the 99.9% be forced to cater to the 1 or 10%? The world is a wrong place, Capilitan. I didn't cause your problem, so I am not obligated to bankrupt myself to cater to you. Don't like the smoking? Leave and good riddance. That's Capital Art.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jenny Hortaliosa from the proposition team. I am agreeing the idea of total banning cigarette smoking in public places. It is because it will improve the work productivity. Not all people smoke at the office. If smoking is allowed, non-smokers can still inhale the smoke that it can be bothersome for them to smell the smoke. By this, both smokers and non-smokers non-smokers employee has the risk of respiratory infection and other diseases. On the other hand, if it is prohibited, employees can be more productive. If employees smoke less, chances are the risk of getting sick is minimized. And the other one is, it will reduce healthcare costs. According to the Department of Health, or DOH, Filipinos need to be more aware of the harms caused by smoking. Tobacco has been identified as the primary risk factor in the Philippines for a range of non-communicable diseases. This leads to massive health care costs and productivity losses for our nation. Smoking costs our economy more than 188 billion pesos. Besides that, even we claim a big amount of money from cigarette smoking, it can also affect our body. We must always remember that even cigarette smoking changes our mood and it relaxes your mind. It doesn't mean that you're far from illness. Although you only use one stick per hour, it also starts to distract your body. And we all know that all of you knows what should be the effect of smoking. And you are not born to be full, but you are born in this world to face your challenge. Don't use cigarettes to be your solvent in your problem. And so please, if you don't want to die easily, so keep calm. Stay at home and love yourself. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am April Shane Garnett from the Gani from opposition team. This smoking ban goes into a pros and cons situation. In this opposing team, smoking protects one side only in public places, which defines available to everyone for all purposes. This means only the needs of non-smoker. These are the things why we were not agreed to ban smoking in public places. This is really a true act of discrimination. Second, we collected 36.1% of tax of retail price and average of cigarette in 28.70 pesos because we have inadequate and insufficient fund for the needs of the people, especially the poor. Third, business sector and business firm. Mall. Mall is a public place which people or smoker can smoke in the designated smoking area. Fourth, the main concern is the second-hand smoker. But this is not necessarily we should ban smokers from smoking in the public places. Fifth, we have to look up that the smoke from smokers produces only 0.0092% of carbon dioxide emissions in the world. Ignorance is not bliss. So instead of continuing on your pointless rant about how bad smokers are, how about you accept the fact that everyone has the same viewpoint as you do? This is a discrimination. My main point is, if we ban smoking in public places, it will lessen the smokers so our fund or tax we get in cigarettes will be weak. So we can provide the needs of the people, especially the poor. And you said that smoking is bad to our health? Oh, think of it. Smokers know that smoking is bad to their health, but they don't complain. They still continuing smoking. So smoking is a choice. So again, I am April Shane Garnett from the Gani, and I am not agreed to ban smoking in public places. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Vivian Grace A. Fundal, and I am agree with the total banning of cigarette smoking in public places. Why? It's because it will lessen air pollution. A single cigarette smoke indoors is a potent source of exposure to toxic pollutants, causing concentration indoors that are often higher than federal air quality standards designed to protect public health in ambient air outdoors. Smoking cigarettes release carcinogens and other toxins, and they contain these pollutes the air and harm human and animal life. The air pollution emitted by cigarettes is 10 times greater than diesel car exhaust. Suggests a control experiment reported in tobacco control, environmental tobacco smokes produce fine particulate matter, which is the most dangerous element of air pollution for health. And another, smoking should be banned in public places. It's because non-smokers should not be forced secondhand smoke against their, even though it is an ambiguous etiquette not to smoke when surrounded by many people. A large number of smokers don't seem to care so much about it. For example, it, it's not that hard to find a person smoking at the bus stop even if there are a little birds around him or her. There should be rules restricting people who have little regards for the well-being of others. Another reason why smoking should be banned in public places is because of the garbage problem. Not many smokers throw away their cigarettes butts into the trash can. Most of them just toss it on the streets. The street will be much cleaner if smoking is banned. That's the beyond thing.
Good morning, everyone, especially to our panel of judges. I'm Gamer Lilanciso from the opposition team. I disagree to the idea of total banning of cigarette smoking. The obvious retort from the health lobby, and there are many evidence among their number, is that passive smoking demonstrably harmful. They may be correct. Too few medical studies that have yet reached that definite conclusion to prove it either right or wrong. But that will leave open the precautionary approach. Until we know for certain, let's ban smoking in public places. Now to make sure it cannot hurt anyone. Smoking bans target a wide demographic, alienating regular customer of some establishments and killing business in others. In only for these reasons, most smoking bans should not be in place. The unfortunate truth is that not every business wants to place a ban in smoking. In early 2000s, when smoking bans in bars grew more rigid, the owners and managers of nightlife establishments complained that business took a sharp downward spiral as a result. Bar owners lost money because of smoking bans. Some are even forced out of business. This is especially unfair to business owners who did not receive options before the bans became law. The biggest argument from individuals who support smoking bans is that they breathe more pollutants. What they do not consider is that they breathe more pollutant in at the street corner when vehicular exhaust fumes from cars, smoke from cookers at nearby restaurants, and dust on city streets do more harm than occasional whiff of cigarette smoke. Yet no bans exist to prevent people from driving, cooking, and kicking up dust. There are many reasons why we should not ban smoking. First, tax revenue. In 2013, the government collected 43.9 billion in tobacco tax revenue, and over $500 billion since 1998. If tobacco users are not providing that revenue, the rest of us will have to cough up to bucks. Our government spending will be cut.
Second, pursuit of happiness. The founding of this country as expressed as the Declaration of Independence makes it clear that people should be able to pursue happiness that does not infringe on others. Skydiving and racing cost lives. Should they be banned? Ice cream is not essential to life and it causes health problems. Should it be banned? Where does it end? Once again, good.
And now, the most awaited part, the rebuttal stage. May I request the representative of proposition team and the opposition team to give their point about the total banning of cigarette smoking in public places.
How do you say so that banning cigarette smoking in all public places could improve productivity?
Smoke ban in public places can cause productivity in our world, in our country, because we cannot waste money in using smoking. We can benefit from not smoking because of it. We can live long, and smoking is a bad habit where it will easily cause you to destination to your death. How about you? Don't you ever try to think that smoking is a sin and it will lead you to death?
As I think it's not a sin.
Why?
It's a choice of yours if you are going to smoke or not. So live your life to the fullest, and your choice is always your choice.
Can you imagine if the world is full of smokers and they can influence the non-smokers to use up cigarettes?
Of course, they can influence. But look, if there are no smokers, what about our government? As I know, our government collected 36.1 of tax of retail price on average. If there are no smokers, our government will lose the revenue and tax.
Wow, what a beautiful changing of ideas. And now I will call on Eliza May Fabrian to give her point of view regarding of the proposition team.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Eliza May Fabrian from Proposition Team, and I'm here in front of you to give my opinion. In my opinion, smoking should be banned in public places. That is because non-smokers should not be forced to second-hand smoke against their will. As my proposition team says that there are many evidence and reasons why smoking should be banned in public. It's more important to save something than to be sorry late for it. It is really selfish for the others who smoke to say that they should be allowed to enjoy the smell of cigarettes while others suffer. Banning of smoking in public areas, the government cares about the health of the citizens, and the government encourage people from smoking is not allowed in public, as it reminds each and every person that the government is seriously concerned for well-being of its citizens. Therefore, people would be reminded to live a healthy lifestyle. By prohibiting people from smoking in public, the government is just protecting what God-given right of its people to full and healthy life and to take care of themselves, as well as the people around them. So, smoking is a choice. In this case, are all destroying yourself and all the people around you. Therefore, smoking in public areas should be banned. That's all.
A blessed day to everyone. My name is Sophia Bendo, and I'm here
give my opinion about this today. Giving my opinion in general, the way I view both the points of smoking and not smoking, or banning smoking in public places, or allowing smoking anywhere we want to smoke, without limits or rules. Of course, each party has a systematic or logical reason being defended. But by this, we are asked to be more reasonable, fair, and sensible in every detailed opinion we are called to throw back or brought up. If we allow smoking anywhere we wanted to, of course, the one who will benefit it the most is as long as he craved and wanted to use it. But the question is, after spoiling or using our freedom of desire as open as we wanted, 100 folds of different misery will come out, especially to the health of every human species. But if we ban smoking in public places, the very first advantage of it is the three word, which is self-discipline, self-control, and respect. We cannot totally stop smoking, but at least we have minimized it. We are helping and teaching others how to control themselves, how to give limitation, how to respect others that will be affected by the smoke of our cigarettes. And by this, we will minimize the inflict or cause of misery in every humanities. And we help at least prolong everyone's life that could be all taken.
Thank you, Sydney and Eliza May Pabaran, for your opinion. At this time, let us hear a message from Sir Edwin A. Dudulao. Round of applause, please.
Thank you to our okay. My congratulations to our teacher, Maam. Thank you. Our timekeeper, how many minutes did I do? And of course, my congratulations also to our proposition team and the opposition team, and of course our audience, audience, the supporters of the opposition and the preposition, proposition, and lastly our board of judges and our observer. I'm happy to see an activity like this. I'm longing that someday our school can have a designated area for our students to have a debate activity. No? Kaya makita natin na it is very important, especially to our students, to express their ideas. No? Express their ideas and, of course, to show their hidden talent, especially thinking ability. First, I would like only to give some points of appreciation, especially the members of the different team, wherein they give their best, especially presenting the designated topic given by their teacher, and some of the important words that I've jot down. I'm rating the sinong naghambal sini, the right time, and the passive smokers. Then some of you give data. The opinion or the information given by the two teams, they use legal basis, legal basis and data presenting the effect and the positive effect of both sides. Nakita nyo ito, nabatian niya? They talk about millions of pesos, millions of damages, and of course, the person involved or the concerned person involved in the total banning of cigarettes, who are the beneficiaries. So all of us are the beneficiaries. Then in the long run, as the
Nami kita ng diction, ng pronunciation, ng conviction, kanami hit sa inyo tanan. Okay? Sige, so I just would like to highlight some points na lang siguro for both team, no? So let's begin sa opposition team. So I will give you your strengths na lang. Proposition team, sorry. So sa proposition team, very good thing as what Sir Edwin have mentioned a while ago. Very strong kasi pag-debate, very strong kasi na points pag legal basis na gina-present natin. So the Republic Act, mga ganyan, presidential decree, mga kung ano pa dira, basta legal basis. Okay? So, isa yan sa mga strengths ninyo. Then, you have presented variety of reasons bakit bakit naga-oppose kayo sa total banning. So, yung mga na-mention niyo is diseases, na-mention yung health risk. You mentioned death rate with statistics pa. You mentioned environmental risk, water pollution, air pollution, then yung garbage disposal dun sa cigarette butts natin. Okay, so yun yung strong points niyo. So, sa naman natin, sa opposition side naman natin, yung mga reasons na na-present nila is yung freedom of public. So, na-highlight nila doon choice kasi ang smoking. So, hindi daw pwedeng i-ban kasi freedom of choice ang matatapakan. Then, pursuit of happiness, so relaxation, mga ganun. Then, taxes and revenue naman yung pinaka-strong na hinighlight ng ating opposition na group. Okay? Pagdating naman sa rebuttal, na-enjoy lang na rebuttal kay basta sadya ginang rebuttal, nakita ginamon na there is the exchange of idea. Talagang both party gina-convince gid ang audience kag ang opposing group nga tama gid ang stand namon nga kami gid ang convincing nga group. Okay? So first time pa lang daw, no? First time pa lang yung mag-debate ang yung performance ninyo. So, I believe sa mga next time na mag-debate pa kamo sa math, for example.
Uy, Diyos
for
ko!
sure. Ipa-debate, mga about sa mga
Quadratic!
Churanes, ni Mambema, dira. So, for sure namin naging ang
Ping, last na lang picture ako.
Okay, so
Last na lang
again,
picture ako. Dito,
basta
Ning,
contest
dala lang.
ni Ma'am, no? Siyempre, may aragin kita awardan sa best presenter. Itong pinaka namin maghambal dahil kanina nga nag-present sa idea. Then we also have the best debater na maayo mag-sagang, maayo mag-rebut. And of course, meron kita nga winning team. Okay? So whoever ang mapili natin, whoever ang winner, so I believe, product ni siya sa thorough nga judging verdict sa aton nga mga judges. So once again, congratulations for our job, very well done. And congratulations as well sa facilitator. This event wouldn't be a success kung hindi maayo ang facilitator. So, round of applause para kayong team.
Thank you, Ma'am Ems. And before the warning, let's hear a message from our advisor, the one and only Ma'am Pinky
Okay, salamat. So I just want to thank Sir Edwin for spending and sharing your time with us. Together with him, Ma'am Ems, Ma'am Bema, Ma'am Diray, although you have your classes, but you are here sharing your time, helping me to come up with a successful debate, no? So na-pressure man ako kay nakaagi ko debate. Second year college pa ako, long time ago. No? So, English 21 to public speaking. That was my first and last debate. So, I cannot imagine myself, no? I cannot imagine myself na kung ako ara sa inyong food suba, wow, bulay na. Basi ginagaling ko pagalo magbasa, no? So, my dear students, the proposition and the opposition team, thank you for submitting to my requirements. Kaya without you, this is one of my requirements in Simeo together with Ma'am Talia. So, salamat sa Simeo kay at least naka-experience man ako kung anong ginatawag nga ng debate. So, to the rest of my students, although not all of you are engaged in speaking, but I know all of you shared your part, no? So again, thank you, thank you. So with that, mapalit-song gila ko ba? Christmas party. Okay, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Parang thank you is not enough, no? Okay, so bawi lang si Ma'am sa inyo. So, kahapon, I was not here because we were at Esperanza. So, pag-abot ko sa room, ay, salamat. Na-arrange ko naman ko kahit papalo nga nababugto, ugat ko kaugtas ng mga lalaki ko, na nakuha ko sila sa lamisa kay ma-arrange din. So, to all of you, grade 9 SSC, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Wala, nasave mo to, Em? Nasave mo to? Man?
Thank you, Ma'am Pinks. I know that we are all excited to know the results, right?
Yeah!
Who will be the group or the winning team? It is it the proposition team? How about the opposition team? Now may I request Ma'am Bella Friella.
Naintindihan ka nila tumipawakan. Naintindihan na tumipawakan nila.
Yan, lapit na lang. Salita. Kalain! Kalain! Tinapon.
My congratulations to the two teams, the opposition and the affirmative team. And also to Ma'am Capilitan for the job very well done. So I am tasked to announce the winners for this activity. We have for best presenter, may dalawa tayo, no? One from the proposition and one from the opposition. So from the opposition, we have Miss Agomino. Congratulations. From the affirmative team, we have General Miguel. Best debater, we have none other than Jobel Esteban. And the winning team is, we have the affirmative or proposition team. Thank you. Lahat tayo for pictorial sa
Ma'am! Ma'am! Ma'am Pinks! I-post na? I-stop na?